you have to say about Ineos, they did completely change their way of riding, their racing style, the whole season already, but also in this Tour de France, and they got a nice victory with Arendsman.
Yeah, one of only a few teams to won stages in this race. I think there's still 15 teams that haven't won a stage.
Yeah,
including for I think it's the first time in a long time that a French team hasn't won a stage.
Yeah, no French team has won a stage. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, just one French rider on Soudal Quickstep.
I'm the 2012 Tour de France winner, Sir Bradley Wiggins.
And I'm Johan Bruyneel. I directed my teams to 9 Tour de France victories. Welcome to the Sir Wiggo and Johan Show, our daily show where we dive deep into the tactics behind every stage of the Tour de France.
Hi everybody, welcome to our show. We're talking today about stage 17 from Bolaine to Valence, 170 kilometers, flattish, some little hills. As every day, presented by Ketone IQ, and as every day, I'm happy to be here with Bradley Wiggins. Bradley, how did you see the stage? What's your main takeaway of the day?
Well, my take of today, of course, is I would say Jonathan Milan. Pretty much consolidating green, barring any crazy mishap or misfortune. He took as many points as he could today with the finish, and of course, getting fifth in the intermediate sprint as well. And part of that was because of the job that Little Trek did for him, really. They threw everything they had at marshalling the brakes today, keeping the brake at a safe enough distance, and then looking after him in a very sketchy final when the rain came and Jonathan delivered. So I think that was, well on his way to, I think, being the first rider to ever win the Ciclamino jersey at the Giro and the points jersey at the Tour de France in the same year. So he's on the verge of history.
Well, in the same year, what would that be?
No one's done it. No one's done it.
Yeah, but he hasn't done it either.
No, he hasn't done it. No, he's on the verge of making history.
He was not at the Giro.
Was he not at the Giro? Oh no, he wasn't. Maz was, wasn't he?
It was Maz. It was Maz. Trek. It's Little Trek. Yeah.
Fair point. Yeah.
He won it last year.
He won it last year. Yeah.
That's. I mean, listen. We thought it was going to be a bunch sprint, so it was. There was so much interest, right, of several teams. It was Little Trek and Soudal and Jaco. It was clear it was going to be a bunch sprint. Probably their last chance. There's not going to be another bunch sprint because I think
we don't know how Paris is going to turn out, do we? We don't know with this new finish.
Well, if it's going to be a bunch sprint, it's going to be a reduced group. You're going to have to be like in the top 30 riders to call it a bunch sprint, right?
Yeah. That remains to be seen, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
We'll talk about one of our sponsors, Johan, anyway today, NordVPN. So NordVPN, you can safely access your favorite streams and other content from home, no matter where you go. Easily switch your virtual location to access apps and websites in other countries. Easy to use, connect with one click or enable auto connect for 0-click protection. 7,500 servers in 118 countries, and you can change your virtual location easily. Amazing speed. NordVPN is one of the fastest VPNs out there. I'm using it every morning to watch the coverage of the Tour de France when I wake up early. One NordVPN account, you can be used on up to 10 devices, and get your exclusive NordVPN deal here. It's nordvpn.com/the move. That's nordvpn.com/the move. It's risk-free with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. Link is in the episode show notes.
Okay, Bradley. So we start the stage. I haven't seen it from kilometer zero, but when I turned on the broadcast, there was a break of 4 riders, very, very strong riders.
Yeah.
Jonas Abrahamsson, Quentin Paché. Is it Paché or Pacher? Pacher. Not expensive.
No,
it's not expensive. Pacher.
Yeah.
Then Burgodeau, also strong rider, and Vincenzo Albanese. So 4 really strong guys. And but it was clear they never gave them more than 2 minutes. So I at some point I was thinking, when it started to rain, could this be in the advantage? Maybe they don't want to take risks in the peloton, but it turned out to be just the usual breakaway. Jonas Abrahamsson, though, he's there again. What a strong guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's won a stage. He's obviously, he was quite consistent in last year's Tour de France, wasn't he? Held the King of the Mountains jersey for a couple of days, but in how many breaks last year? 6 breakaways, I think, in the Tour de France last year.
Yeah.
Crashing in the Tour of Belgium 10 days before the race.
That still blows my mind.
Yeah,
that still blows my mind.
And then, of course, has won a stage, and of course, X were one of the wild cards of this race. So, yeah, very, very impressive, and was the last man standing today in the rain.
Yeah. Interesting little detail I discovered today. Actually, your ex-teammate, you remember him, Nicolas Fritsch. You were teammates with him on FDG, I guess. He told me that in 2017 he did l'Étape du Tour, which is the Grand Fondo of the Tour. So one of the big stages is always l'Étape du Tour, whatever, 15,000 people participating. And in 2017, Jonas Abrahamsson won l'Étape du Tour over the Col de l'Izoard, which is, the l'Étape du Tour is always a mountain stage, right? He was 18 kilos lighter than now. Yeah. So we've talked about his transformation, right, and how he decided to gain weight. But yeah, I didn't know that in 2017 he won l'Étape. Anyways, we see this breakaway, Bradley. There's a lot going on in the peloton, right? First of all, the teams are pacing, but then I want to ask your thoughts on what Ineos action was for on one of those climbs. They went full gas. Gas.
I actually don't know. I'm not too sure what their ambition was with that. What do you think?
The only thing I can think about was that because they went really fast on a Cat 4 climb, they did obtain separation. The sprinters got dropped, and the only thing I can think of is that they wanted to sprint with Axel Laurence, which is a fast guy now. There's probably other guys who can beat Axel Laurence. So I don't really understand what they were doing. They were impressive. They were.
Yeah, I think there's also an element with them, especially with Dave Brailsford being back on the race, where this is kind of where this was classic Dave, where rather than thinking the Tour is done now and all switching off and kind of just rolling into Paris, he kind of musters the troops to maybe have an objective of some sort, even if it's not the most obvious one, and get them still, kind of being competitive in this race. So, there's that sort of classic Dave, really, in the sense that, keeping their heads high, making sure that they're still contributing to the race in some form. So, yeah, from that point of view, I can understand that. Even with, just making the race, even if there's no sort of outcome for them.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think, I do understand that, you have to have something to do with your team to keep the team together and motivated and just,
It's very easy to switch off in this part of the Tour, isn't it?
Exactly. That the guys after the stage, even if you don't obtain the result, you still go away with a good feeling because
we're talking about them. We're now talking about them having done something.
Yeah. And they were, on a 4th category climb, the peloton was shattered. Almost all the sprinters were dropped. But then you kind of know that it's going to come back together because the thing is with these kind of actions, Bradley, and I don't know what your opinion is of that, the effort and the energy and the power you need to make that separation, then you still need to have the power to keep it going. And that's where you can blow up your team and you can blow up the whole peloton, but then you have nobody left to go, right?
Yeah.
And especially like judging how high the stakes are at the Tour, they knew that Little Trek was going to do everything they could to score points today. And even Soudal, and you saw clearly that there was people with Milan, there was people with Merlier in the back, but those two teams also sent back 2 of their strong riders.
Yeah,
including Quinn Simmons at some point. So yeah, that was a bit strange. And then another, if you have Little Trek, Israel, Soudal, Jaco controlling, but you're right. I think it's about finding things to do and that they can take away with a good feeling and use it to build up on.
That's it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to say about Ineos, they did completely change their way of riding, their racing style, the whole season already, but also in this Tour de France, and they got a nice victory with Arendsman.
Yeah, one of only a few teams to have won stages in this race. I think there's still 15 teams that haven't won a stage.
Yeah,
including for I think it's the first time in a long time that a French team hasn't won a stage.
Yeah, no French team has won a stage. That's true. Yeah, just one French rider on Soudal Quickstep.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have another question for you, Bradley. But before we do that, I want to talk about a presenting sponsor, Ketone IQ. It's been widely reported that ketones are used in the peloton by almost all the teams. Ketone IQ has proven that it boosts athletic performance in a placebo-controlled study with trained athletes. Ketone IQ boosted average sprint power by 19%, peak power by 13%, cut fatigue by 10%, and spiked blood ketones 5 times in just 20 minutes. Additionally, they found out that ketones help for a faster recovery. Ketone IQ teamed up with one of the big teams in this Tour de France, with Visma Leasebike and also the University of Leuven, to explore recovery and high altitude adaptation. Their key findings: improved blood flow, higher muscle oxygenation for better endurance and stamina. I've had my double dose of ketones today, Bradley.
Yeah.
This 10-gram ketone shot, no caffeine, no sugar. I took one. Today I did a 78-kilometer mountain bike ride.
Yeah.
Quite long. So I took one just before I started, one in the middle. No, nothing else, no carbs, and I was perfectly fine. Of course, I don't go very fast, but it definitely works. So if you want to try it, take your shot. You get 20% off your order at ketone.com/themove using the code THEMOVE at checkout. So that's ketone.com/themove using the code THEMOVE. Bradley, another thing before we talk about the sprint. Wout van Aert. All of a sudden, there's 4 riders away. They have 1 minute. Peace has returned to the bunch after Milan and all the sprinters came back. You kind of know that's it, right? I mean, unless one of these guys pulls out an amazing performance and takes off, always possible. But Wout van Aert attacks on another Cat 4 climb, and straight away takes off 30 seconds and then stagnates and goes back to the bunch. What were you guys? I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys were all watching together then.
Yeah.
What were you guys saying about this move?
Well, what was it? Normally with anyone else who would do that, you would think it was a suicide move. But with Wout, into the 3rd week into a Grand Tour, we know what he's capable of doing. He would have heard that it was starting to rain up ahead and the roads were going to get wet. And he was perhaps preempting that and getting up the road. Obviously preempting a lull in the peloton, perhaps. You wouldn't put it past Wout to have jumped across to that breakaway at that point and get closer. He did stagnate out there, but at time he closed in quick and then stopped. And then going away again from that breakaway and perhaps trying to win solo. We've seen him do it in the past.
Yeah.
And obviously with the knowledge or with the pre-information that it was wet up ahead and it was raining and it was technical and it was going to get chaotic. So I think there was an element of that from Wout, just to test his legs and go for a stage win.
And probably also, I'm going to guess, I'm just thinking out loud here, not having any information. Wout probably initially had a plan that he would actually try to sprint. Now, knowing that it was raining and knowing that Wout takes less risks than before, we need to be honest about that. Maybe he just said, okay, I'm just going to give it a try. I'm not going to sprint anyway today because it's raining and I don't want to risk my life. You can't. I agree. If it would have been any other rider, you would say, "What is he doing?" But you can't pass.
Yeah, he might have anticipated that some more riders may have came with him as well.
Yeah. Anyway, that didn't work. But then I want to talk about Quinn Simmons today, Bradley. Quinn Simmons what a job has he been doing, pulling in the peloton, going back. Actually, when initially when Milan and all the sprinters were dropped, he stayed up front and he kind of controlled that movement. And then finally he went back. Then he brought the sprinters back, and then he still kept pulling. And especially, seeing how he crossed the finish line, he was actually even happier than Milan.
Yeah, and you could see his teammates towards him as well when he crossed the line. He was the hero of the day for that team.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's. I joked on the main show that that's his job, and it's like praising the mailman for delivering your mail. That's what he's supposed to do. But I was a bit tongue in cheek, because he's done the job that he came to the Tour to do. As we spoke about last week, that was he had specific duties coming to this Tour. But he's been in countless breakaways. He's, been a joy to talk about and a joy to watch. And, he's been the most valuable teammate, I think, for Little Trek. And might be the difference between Milan winning green and not winning green is Quinn Simmons' job he's done at this Tour.
I think so. If you look at it, and also, I mean, okay, I think we all want Quinn Simmons to have opportunities, and he definitely has the power and the form and the condition to win a stage. But we all know it's not easy to win stages at the Tour. But one thing, I mean, even if he doesn't win a stage, and it's every day, it's more and more unlikely. I mean, what about Paris? That suits him also. But I think if there's anything that Quinn Simmons is going to take away from this, if it's not a stage win, is that he has become a much better rider, and he's proven that he has the big engine. If it's just a bit fine tuned in terms of when he attacks and when he sits on a little bit, I think this guy. I was really impressed. Really impressed with him. That was really nice. Anyways, then in the final, Bradley, rain starts. Man, that was dangerous with those roundabouts in the peloton. I mean, if you see it from the helicopter, that was crazy. But
I'm surprised there wasn't more accidents than there was. And then when the crash happened was the place you least expected it to happen, but it wasn't anything to do with the road furniture or the barriers, etc. From the overhead shot, we saw that the Post-NL rider was trying to get through a gap that was there that was closed by the La Groupama rider and Cofidis. But the carnage that it caused around it, and with disc brakes now and that people slamming on, people were sliding sideways, and kind of the guy who did the best job to stay upright was Tim Merlier. I mean, I don't know if you watched him go through. Oh man, but
cyclocross skills.
Yeah, but that crash happened right in the front, didn't it? Sort of 8 riders back, and the minute it happened, it was like even George said, "This is it. See you in the douches." Milan's going to win because it wiped out all his main rivals, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, it was 1K to go, and Jordi Meus was close, but this was Milan's race after that crash.
It's a shame about Binny, because I think Binny looked like he was nursing a potential broken wrist or something.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. When you see somebody come over the finish and they're holding their arm, it's never a good sign. Sign.
Yeah. But what a day for Milan. I mean, he's firmly in the lead now in the green jersey competition. And I think on Spencer's calculation, if everything goes to plan and Pogacar wins the 2 mountain stages, Milan still wins in Paris by 2 points, I think.
I think what they will try to do tomorrow, they will go full gas for the first sprint. He wins that, and then it's mathematically over. Yeah. Then he just needs to worry about making the time cut. So,
which is no mean feat, is it, tomorrow? I mean,
I know.
What a stage to empty yourself for the first hour.
I know. Yeah.
5,500 meters of climbing.
Yeah, we'll talk about tomorrow's stage. Let's first do our daily Ventum trivia, Bradley. We had yesterday's question was in 2016, race leader and eventual winner Chris Froome famously ran up a portion of the slopes of the Mont Ventoux. Why was he forced to run? The answer, his bike was badly damaged in a crash involving a motorbike and crowded roads, so he didn't have access to a spare bike. That was the correct answer. His bike was too badly damaged and couldn't keep going, didn't have access to a spare bike.
Yeah.
Stage 17 question, today's question, is the Rhone Valley, the location of stage 17, is known for peloton breaking wins. The question is, what formation do riders form to try and combat crosswinds? So what formation do riders form to try and combat crosswinds? Send your best guess. Yeah.
Do we want the English word for that or the French word?
Yeah. We're gonna say both.
Yeah,
okay.
both.
Yeah. So send your best guess to ventumracing.com/themove, and you can enter into this year's contest a grand prize of $5,000 of store credit towards any Ventum bike you want to purchase. Don't want to wait until the end of the tour. Ventum is also offering a standing discount during the duration of the tour of 10% off the whole site using the code THEMOVE10, and 20% off any NS1 bike with the code NS120. So 10% off the Move 10 and 20% off for an NS1 bike, NS120. Tomorrow's stage, Bradley. I know you talked about it on the Move. This is definitely the Queen stage, right? This is the hardest stage. You see the profile here. 3 HC climbs. HC means horse category, so special category. So even harder than a Cat 1 climb.
Yeah.
5,400 meters of climbing. Big day today. What do you think will happen? I mean, Visma. Well, I've heard Bradley with Visma. I've been told by somebody who's close to the team that they have calculated their whole race centered on this stage. This is the stage where it needs to happen. What do you think they need to do?
I think at this stage of the race, if they're really serious, that second place means nothing, which to us watching it, watching a two-time winner of this race who's finished second a couple of times, I think a lot of the sports world or a lot of the cycling community would be happy to see this guy go down fighting and finish last in this Tour de France, but having tried. Now, on a stage like this, what can you do against the greatest rider of all time? We've seen him try to isolate Tadej, but we need to see. I'd like to see him do what he did on Mont Ventoux on the first climb tomorrow, or on the Madeleine. Which is
I think it needs to be the Madeleine, Bradley,
and go man on man,
Yeah, So first they need to make sure they have guys in the breakaway. It's gonna need to be their climbers. It's not gonna, and Victor Campenaerts are not gonna cut it tomorrow.
No,
it needs to be Simon Yates and Sepp Kuss and eventually Matteo Jorgensen. Although I think there must be something not right with Matteo. He's not on his usual level. So maybe he's sick or. But the Glandon is it's hard, but there's a lot of rests in between. The Madeleine from this side is incredibly hard. It's constant. It's hard.
Yeah.
And I think they need to have guys up the road. Jonas needs to try, and he needs to be able to shake Pogačar, because especially what we see the last few stages is that Tadej is following Jonas as he should, and he's not taking, and he doesn't have to take any initiative. So that's the situation they're in. I think they have to hope for a weak moment of Tadej, which is always possible. It can always happen.
Yeah,
we need to hope for it as cycling fans that this is going to be the case. But we'll see that tomorrow, Bradley. Thanks for your time, and we'll speak soon. Thanks.